I'm surprised dentists haven't woke up to that a lot. The newer ones have. I mean, there was one of the people in here talked to a younger dentist. He just graduated, and he's talking about all this abscess being nothing but full of acid sewage. Thank you. That's a smart kid. And just starting to learn now. And that Minnesota School of Dentistry, I think that's going to be one of your higher schools there. These sort of places that are looking at acids and stuff. Now we're getting on point. Bacteria, just our little friends. Yes, they can get aggressive, absolutely. You start stirring up lymph and getting these generally controlled pretty good. Start stirring up the mess, you know. So I don't blame you for whatever you do that way. But antibiotics, tough way to go. Brandon has a right to do exactly what he wants, and no one can tell him whatsoever. However, I do have a problem with him telling other people what to do when they have health issues. Yeah, that's my point too. And it wasn't about Brandon. Brandon's a good friend, and I don't care what Brandon does in lifestyles. Then the good case was on this site, and it wasn't that there was the understanding between the difference. Those people that called me on this, they understood it to be, he was saying this is the kind of diet man should be. And so this one girl we have with brain tumor started eating eggs. Well, then symptoms didn't do too well there. So that's the seriousness. When I have a serious case, and you must consider brain cancer a very serious case, you do not want to be eating eggs and stuff. And I think this was just a misunderstanding thing. And again, Brandon, I don't care. You're a good guy. You're really good. I love you, bro. And if you guys want to do whatever in that way, detox though, and I know you separate the two now. I was told that. Didn't know that because I don't have time to review your videos, so I apologize. But yeah, just so we make sure that detoxification is detoxifying. Your theory of paleo and stuff is just that, a theory. It doesn't prove out to be actuality, because if you look around again, we're a product of those pasts. And now we're, again, keep in mind, Brandon, we're growing spiritually. And so as we grow spiritually, our life changes in the way we conduct ourselves, but also in our consumption. You know, the way we handle ourselves, the way we eat, everything changes because of our spiritual growth and understanding. You have to allow for that. You know, and that is not considered a lot in thinking of different lifestyles for man, you know. But all these are theory-type lifestyles in the sense that we really don't know what paleo man, we really don't know that far back what man really was eating. A lot of anthropology theories out there. But again, environmental locations, geographical locations, environmental effects are not readily taken into consideration. You got to take in the whole picture of this thing. But again, I really just don't care what a person wants to eat outside of, we're talking about health and how you get healthy. You know, and in 40 years, you're not going to find, very few people around the globe have been a raw foodist for 40 years and actually stayed that way and didn't cheat at all. You're just not going to find that many that's done that. And I expect people our age not to be able to handle that lifestyle that long. Look at the natural hygienists like T.C. Fry, Sheldon. Couldn't handle it that long. So I admire anyone that does it for 10, 15 years. I kept mainly raw for about 25 years, maybe going up to 30, but that started changing for a lot of reasons, you know. But I'm still about 70, 80% raw. And there's times I'm more, and there's times I'm a little less. It just depends, you know, what's going on there. But I don't hold that over someone. You know, I'm not young like Dan McDonald, where I just got into this and I'm ripping it apart. Just not that way. This is the healing and what I've learned in clinical work and how we heal people. This is that channel. This is how you get well, how you choose, and what you choose to do with that. That's up to you. No judgments from me whatsoever. God just made sure I had enough experiences where, you know, you don't judge. And I don't want to judge. I don't care. Because this isn't the world that I really care about. This is an illusionary world of duality, of cause and effect, and you know, of materiality and how we play with these different atom arranged material tools and games and things like that. not who we are. Now, that's what I'm more interested in, is who we are and the God conscious state. That's who I'm more interested in. But getting well, there's just a certain road you travel, certain laws you got to follow, and I think for the most part you guys are tearing it up pretty dang good. It's like this gentleman that his skin is getting softer and softer and softer. These are all byproducts. You don't need to wipe when you have a stool because it's clean when it comes out. You don't stink anymore because there's no proteins in the body. Just go on for proteins, get your body cleaned out. You see it doesn't stink, and then start eating meat again and just see how quick you start stinking your body up. Dano, I'm wondering how it is that consciousness, spirit, or God, whatever one chooses to call it, chose fruits to experience a body free of obstructions in order to perceive, and that really it's like God is saying that it is what you are to eat in order to experience me and all the beauty and so on. You know what? You bring up a good question, Daniel. I've skirted on this before about, do you have to be a raw foodist and detoxify your body and eat high fruits to experience God? No, of course not. Does it help? Absolutely. Absolutely, because the sicker your body is, the more pain you're in, the more it pushes you away from that which is. The more it isolates you and crypts you up. Acids are corrosive. It does to your consciousness kind of what it does to your body. It tends to, with the consciousness, implode it a little bit. In real reality, it dehydrates you up like a prune. So it shrivels you up, and you don't want to be bothered. You just go into your little ball, and some people then translate from that. But, excuse me, again, I'm sorry. Does it help? Absolutely. I think they both should go hand in hand, quite frankly. But there's a lot of meat eaters that are very spiritual. I don't think that's much of a factor there. But it's just not a, when you start really getting up there, just something that you can't tolerate, can't smell it, you can't taste it, it's nasty. Dead tissue. And if someone thinks there's something healthy about eating another animal or eating dead tissue at the level that humans are at, I think is just fooling themselves. But you can experience consciousness because look at this, Dan, you already are consciousness. This isn't going and trying to have an experience outside of yourself. This is actually just experiencing yourself. And it's just taking the obstructions that are around you, and not even some are obstructions in a sense that they're shields or protections, so you, as consciousness, can experience into these worlds. You can't be here on Earth, but you can have a body here, and you can see through the bodies, through the physical body, and manipulate this world how you want it, but you can't be here. Neither can God, because you can't pack something that's omnipresent into the finite. You cannot pack the infinite and make it finite only in the illusion of duality. And that's why creation is dualistic. The closer you get to the God state, the more you notice, particularly out of the causal world, that we lose the shape, become more spherical, and then pretty soon we become more consciousness. And the closer you become to yourself. So really, it's not like you're developing or you're getting knowledge. You're awakening to who you already are, Dan. And all of you guys, you're just awakening to who you already are, and then once you learn, you just become more awake and more awake. The less thought, the less desire, the more awareness, because that's what reduces our awareness, but it allows us to play in the field of dreams. While we're done playing, we bring back our attention, kind of like God bringing back its attention. When God brings you back, it's bringing back part of its attention, because its attention is scattered in quadrillions of life forms, and so it just pulls back as it comes back. It's like you're looking through a kaleidoscope. and all the materiality that you can play with and have fun with. But you're still the observer looking through the kaleidoscope. You're the observer looking through the etheric body, the mental body, the causal body, the astral body, and the physical body. It's still you. And it's just always living from that higher perspective of you, as much as you can, and still be able to manipulate the physical world and still go to work and still pay the bills and still feed the body and blah, 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 blah. Because health isn't just feeding the physical body. Health is also getting control of the mind and getting control of the emotions. And since there is a counterpart in the human body that matches those levels, known as the endocrine glands, chakras to some, it is important that one gets those healthy, in my opinion. And especially if you're experiencing depression and anxieties and stuff like this, that's these etheric bodies going down, excuse me, from the physical counterpart. So it's just working that way. Again, man, I love how that works. Pure consciousness is our very essence, and to think that the ego and the fascination with thinking and forms are the very things. You know, every time I say something, you get it the next one. Good man, Daniel. Isn't it neat? But it helps to free us from the illusion and the traps of a limitation. You know, there's nothing worse than to understand that you're limited when you know that you're an unlimited being, but you're limited to a physical body. That's why we like cars and things that move a little faster than the human body can run. I mean, it was horses for me until I realized motorcycles can go a lot faster and a lot further. Man, I've trekked a lot of miles on horses before, and it's like, okay. With me, it's like, okay, let's get going. Okay, all right, take us a few hours. But with a motorcycle, wham! And then, of course, came the cars. Oh, it's Candy from Phoenix. Hi, sweetheart. Candy. Excuse me, I apologize, guys. But it's the only way I can get these out here. I have a cousin that is 15 months old and just found out that her pediatric doctor said her vagina is almost closed and is just a slit. He prescribed an estrogen cream for a 15-month-old baby. Oh, I don't know. And some of the side effects, of course, including growing breasts, discharge, and blood. Yeah, I don't think I'd be giving my little 15-month-old baby an acid like estrogen. Not in the scheme of things, particularly if this baby was raised on formulas. Not in the scheme of things. What I would do is work this baby back into a state of wellness. You know, 15 months old, in comes the fruit. So this is the time to move this baby away from milky products or formulas, get them on fruits. If you want to add a little coconut milk with the coconut in there, give it a real good fatty acids and some amino acids, okay. Maybe a little almond milk, but be real careful with too much protein, even on the babies. We're not a high-protein species. Look around. But fruit would be a good time because it'll help regenerate the brain and nervous system. Don't forget, fruit is it's just not detoxifying. Fruit and berries. Why is it that I can only rebuild MS, Lou Gehrig's, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's on fruit, and we just can't do it on vegetables? What does that speak to? The magnetic power and chemistry that these fruits and berries have. Absolutely. So this is what you want to do on this baby. And the baby will regenerate that area. That's all you can do. It'd be real risky because what you're going to do is slam a couple things in this baby girl. You're going to slam her pituitary and her ovaries, and you're going to slam her adrenal glands.